everybody, it's Michelle, and today is going to be the day that I do my next cursed horror movie on The Exorcist from 1973. And just 3 years ago, in 2013, what made the 40th anniversary of this movie. Alright, yes, this movie is very controversial. It was considered cursed, and if you think about it, when you delve into the realms of evil and the devil and demons and possessions and stuff like that, I think that you're kind of playing around with things that aren't so good, you know. I mean, we're talking about things like that I'm sure could possibly get the devil's attention. Alright, this movie is in 1973, The Exorcist, and many believe that it was cursed. I have a few things to tell you about that may make you think so as well. I don't know who out there has seen this movie. It is definitely, to me, labeled a classic. It is about a young girl, 15-year-old girl named Reagan, and she and her mother live in a two-story house. I don't know exactly where it was located. I want to say maybe Rome. If I'm mistaken, somebody let me know. But anyway, this girl, Reagan, becomes possessed by a demon. I think the name of the demon, or I think it is called Pizazu or something like that. I don't really know how to pronounce it. But anyway, Reagan was played by Linda Blair, 15-year-old girl. Her mother was played by Ellen Burstyn. And a lot of stuff happened in this movie. I've done a lot of research on a lot of the ones that I posted up on Facebook. I don't know now if I'm going to talk about all these movies because I've gone and done some research on all of them, just about, and I don't think any has quite as much existing around it for it to be claimed a cursed movie, more so than The Exorcist and Poltergeist. And that included all three of the Poltergeist movies, which I talked about on Monday. I had a couple of rough days this past week, and I did not get a chance to post this one, but I want to talk a little bit about it today. First off, I want to say that, well, in the movie, the mother, after she realizes, or after her daughter becomes possessed, she contacts two priests. The actor who played Father Damien, his name was, let me find it, Jason Miller. And it says, I've got some stuff written down here that I read offline, and some quotes from different people, and I'm gonna make a point to say in these videos about these movies, I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what's true and what's not. I'm just telling you about why it was supposedly labeled a cursed movie. Alright, there was a day that the actor who played Father Damien, which is Jason Miller, had a strange experience. It said early on into the production, Jason Miller, Father Damien, was eating his lunch and reading some lines for the day scenes, and he was approached by a Jesuit priest. He handed him a medallion of the Blessed Virgin Mary and told him, and this is quoted, "Reveal the devil for the trickster that he is, and he will seek retribution against you, or he will even try to stop what you are trying to unmask him." And it said that Jason Miller constantly kept this medallion with him, that whenever he went on the set filming or whatever, he kept that on him. Ellen Burstyn also said that she very much thought it was cursed because of all the strange and unusual, scary things that were happening on the set. One thing that happened to her was in the part of the movie where she hears her daughter screaming, or the demon inside her screaming upstairs in her room. She runs upstairs, and I saw this part last night, and that was the first time I saw that part after I knew about what had actually happened. Well, she runs up in the movie. She runs upstairs and she sees her daughter on the bed. She is possessed at this point, and her daughter's back is to her. The mother's standing in the doorway of the room, and her daughter's back is to her, but yet her head is facing her too. Her head is totally turned around her body, staring at her mother. And there is a scene where the mother runs to the daughter, and the mother is thrown backwards into a desk. And it said that when they were filming that scene, she was actually hurt very badly. That she crushed something or hurt something really, really bad in her back, which caused her to have that bad injury to bother her the rest of her life. Well, they happen to have used that scene where that happened to her and keep it in the movie because of her reaction was so real. It was so vibrant a reaction that they kept it in there, that when that scene where she was thrown into the desk, that she was actually hurt there, and that was a real reaction. Another thing about this was during filming, it was set back for about 6 weeks, I believe it said. There was a fire that had destroyed the set, and the creepy thing about it was the only thing in that house that was not destroyed was that bedroom where Reagan was restrained in the bed when she was possessed, and that freaked some people out. The director actually thought that, well, he claimed that it was a winged creature that flew into a circuit breaker and popped it, and it caused the house to be set on fire. But it was supposedly actually a pigeon had gotten into the circuit breaker and hit some things, and it started the fire. There's a lot of deaths concerning this movie. It doesn't say in the information that I've looked at, and trust me, I have looked at a lot of information on this. I've got this book, and I write down everything I can find on information on my videos that I do. I've got page after page of information, and I'm skimming through right now to try to get as much information on this in this video as I can. There was 2 people in this movie. I think one of the priests and another person, their characters in the movie dies. And the strange thing about that is both actors die also after this movie. Let me see. They claim that there were 9 deaths. I've got a few deaths here that was recorded. Nothing strange happened on the street. Let me see. Is this even The Exorcist? Yeah. Okay. This film was also associated with bad accidents and a few deaths. Actors Jack McGowan and actor Vasiliki Malarios both died while the film was in post-production. The strange thing about their deaths is that their characters die in the film as well. The other deaths during filming was Linda Blair's grandfather and Max von Sydow's brother, who died on Max's first day of shooting. In 1987, this is quite a few years after the movie came out. In 1987, actress Mercedes McCambridge, she voiced the demon that had possessed Reagan. She was the voice of the demon Pazazu. And she was the victim of a horrific tragedy when her son murdered his wife and children before taking his own life. It said that it wasn't sure whether or not it had anything to do with the curse, but I mean, come on, you know. A lot of people believe that the actual film was cursed, and that um, playing it through a projector was an invitation for a demonic possession. Televangelist Billy Graham stated there is a power of evil in the film, in the fabric of the film itself. When it was first released, the movie was banned in every Middle Eastern country but in Lebanon. But the release of the film was the re-release of the film was then banned in Lebanon. During the Roman premiere, audiences had to fight their way through a huge torrential downpour. That's a big one. When it was released in Rome in the theaters, the people who went, the moviegoers into the theater, they claimed that there was a huge torrential downpour, thunder and lightning, the works. They went in and they claimed that when they went into the theater, they heard demonic sounding noises. Freaks everybody out. There's also something where a person claimed in reading some it claims it's a woman, and then I've seen in other stuff online where it claims it was a man. But regardless of whether it was a man or a woman, supposedly because of how demonic like this film was, people were vomiting, passing out, scared to death, running out of the theater. And one, like I said, I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but it claims that regardless, they passed out from the horrificness of the movie. And in passing out, when they hit, they crushed their jawbone. And they tried to sue Warner Brothers, but they settled out of court. I mean, just a lot of statements having to do with how horrific this film was. Also, when the theater that in Rome, when they came out with the movie, supposedly the theater was right smack dab in between two Catholic churches, and during that torrential downpour and the lightning and the thunder, that the lightning had struck one of the church's steeples, the cross, and it was 400 years old, and the lightning struck it and it just came crashing to the ground. Just a lot of different things. They said that, hold on, there was something that, Linda Blair, who played Reagan, actually, I'm going to tell you about that in part 2. Yes, this is a two-parter. Like I said in my last one about Poltergeist, if you see the first one, please don't not watch the second one, because that's got a lot of good information too. So I'm going to put this up, and not long later, I'm going to put up part 2. All right, I'll see you there.